Chuck's or Paul. Yeah. We're joined by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Clark here in the broadcast booth, and you're in charge of the 60th anniversary Korean War Commemoration Committee. We've been talking a great deal about the contribution of the Korean veterans and what they accomplished on the Korean Peninsula. Tell me more about that.
Well, this is our opportunity to, from DOD to really thank our veterans. The Korean War has always been referred to as the forgotten war. Well, it's forgotten no more, and this is an opportunity for DOD over the next 3 years to commemorate and have, just educate the American public on the significance of the Korean War. So it's to thank and honor our veterans, to educate the public on the war, and to just show our appreciation as a nation for the great accomplishments that they've made.
Colonel, you may, for our listeners, let them know what DOD stands for.
That's right. I understand. Yeah, I'm the representative for all of Department of Defense for this commemorative activity. So it's a really large undertaking, and we take it very seriously. I've often said that, it's a mark of a great nation and how we take care and honor our veterans, and this is our opportunity to do it.
When you talk to the Korean War vets, are they getting the message now that their service was appreciated?
I believe so. This started, remember, this is the 60th anniversary, so we had quite a milestone back in 2000, and some significant progress has been made there, but there's a ways to go still. I think the broader public just doesn't remember that. We hear of our other veterans, and the Korean War was kind of a forgotten period in history. So we're doing our best to remedy that.
Yeah, and doing pretty well, I would have to say.
I think so.
Tell me about exactly what the United States Army accomplished in Korea and how important it is in the global scheme of things today.
Well, it is very important. I think a lot of people, it was a number of things. For a number of technological achievements came out of the Korean War. You always hear about the most famous is probably the mobile army surgical hospitals, but just the advancements in medicine and being able to save lives on the battlefield. The introduction of the helicopter in the Korean War was also a huge milestone, and we see where that is today. But maybe the most important thing is the integration of the armed forces during the Korean War. That was the first time that soldiers of all colors fought together, and that's an amazing accomplishment.
And how many forces are left there in Korea now?
Well, I think the number is somewhere around 25,000. You can't pin me down to that exactly, but I believe that I've served in Korea about 3 times myself, so I think that's where the number is about right now.
So for 60 years, America's been present on the border in Korea.
They have, and anybody that's served over there, and I know many of our veterans have gotten back. It's amazing when you look at modern Korea. I mean, many of them left in 1953 to unpaved roads and mud huts, and now Korea is an absolute economic marvel. So it's really a tribute to their hard work during the war, and it's allowed Korea to prosper as a nation.
Isn't it, though? I mean, the contrast couldn't be more stark between North and South Korea.
It's unbelievable.
Between a totalitarian communist state and a free democracy.
That's correct. I mean, the most famous photo you often see is a famous satellite photo that shows the Korean Peninsula and at nighttime. Mm-hmm. And North Korea is basically, it looks like South Korea is an island off the coast of China because it's dark in North Korea. And Korea, South Korea is completely illuminated, and it's a reflection of just how much progress has been made there.
Yeah.
And what role is the Korean government participating in this?
The Korean government has been absolutely superb. We've partnered with them on a number of things, but they take care of American veterans and really veterans. The Korean War, there were 22 nations that participated, 21 nations besides the United States. So the Korean government has embraced all of the veterans, not just American veterans, but veterans from all over the world who served in Korea. So they've been very gracious hosts, and they've partnered with us quite well during our commemorative activities.
We had a Korean woman here who was born just after the war and was expressing her gratitude for the United States military. Do you find in Korea itself there's still, 60 years after the war, there is still gratitude among the populace?
Absolutely. Well, first off, the Korean people are just a warm people anyway. They're very welcoming, and it's funny because there are many the younger generation that weren't alive during the war, but the thanks thanks and gratitude has been passed on. And it's really, I think American forces serving in Korea are always welcome there with open arms. So.
And now Korea is a company tour for many people, is it not?
It is, and that's changing. Years ago, that wasn't the case, but the nature of our deployment in forces over there is changing now, and you're seeing more and more families joining service members.
So the 25,000 could be as many as 100,000 Americans, actually.
Well, they could be. I don't know. Again, I don't know the exact numbers, but I know our family footprint is increasing.
Colonel Clark, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in and thank you for your service.
Pleasure.
You bet.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Look, we have right behind us right now, I can see the monitor here, and if I look back here, see it as well. The Keep the Spirit of 45 Alive. This is really an extraordinary effort right now. This began a few years ago. A group of people deciding that they didn't want to see the spirit of 45, how this country felt, what we were all about in 1945 when we won the Second World War, die with that generation. And this is a group here, Keep the Spirit of 45 Alive, that's gaining a lot of traction.
I think, and these kids that are coming home from this war we're fighting today, where there will be no victory in the traditional sense, no one's going to surrender on the deck of a battleship. No one's going to say they lost the war. They're going to just disappear, as they always do in unconventional warfare. To have this spirit, this idea of welcome home, well done, you're one of us, we're proud of you, is just a very, very important thing to have happen.
You saw that the statue of the sailor kissing the nurse.
Right.
That was from the iconic photograph. There we are. Iconic photograph taken in Times Square when the war was over.
I can say that's the thing the Vietnam veterans missed the most.
I can guess so, yeah. There was no nurse waiting when they got home.
No.
But the woman, the nurse, the actual nurse, was a delightful woman named Edith Shane, and she was at the forefront of this Keep the Spirit of 45 Alive, and I had the pleasure of interviewing her. Sadly, we lost her this year, but last year, she came from New York, and I had her set up on my program to interview her, and I had not met her until she came out into the studio. And she was, oh gosh, maybe 90 years old, and I was expecting some rather delicate elderly person. She came flying into the studio in her nurse's outfit very flirtatiously and sat down and had this terrific interview. Edith Shane,
now,
bless her heart. Was
the sailor kissing her a friend or just a chance meeting on the street?
Just a chance meeting on the street. It didn't last.
It didn't last.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you that some of the stations that are carrying this broadcast are going to be leaving us after this hour, and we want to thank their viewers, of course, for sharing with us. But for those of you on the local stations out here who are still watching, we'll be right back, along with all the people around the world watching on Armed Forces Radio and Television. Stay tuned.